I'm Dr. Rihab Khalid, and I'm a feminist energy researcher specializing in sustainable energy, climate, and housing infrastructure. My work is dedicated to improving the equitable and just development of cities, with a strong focus on gender equity and energy access. In countries like Pakistan, women's needs are often overlooked in energy and planning policies. And while these policies may seem gender neutral, they end up being gender blind, perpetuating gender biases and marginalizing women's access to energy and space. As a woman working in the field, I know from experience that getting women's voices heard and their needs acknowledged can be quite challenging, especially in male-dominated sectors like energy and planning. I've worked on various collaborative projects over the years and have faced my fair share of challenges. Working on energy projects, I'm often the only woman and the only social scientist in the room. I remember this one time when I was presenting a project on low-income women's energy use, and our study showed how societal norms and culture could restrict women's access to energy, especially in public spaces. Unfortunately, I faced quite a bit of backlash from the energy policymakers, who, unsurprisingly, were all men and from technical backgrounds. They argued that our study was not scientific enough because it focused on ethnography and participant interviews instead of on numbers. I admit it was quite disheartening at the time, but I didn't let that discourage me. And actually, it made me more determined in my efforts for inclusive participatory methods and in promoting feminist energy solutions. I realized that to effectively influence policymakers, I needed to change tactics and speak their language. And so I worked tirelessly to secure funding for collecting large-scale quantitative data. And through this, I was able to back the voices and stories of these vulnerable women with hard facts and numbers. This experience taught me the power of effective communication and the need to align diverse outcomes strategically. Thankfully, our efforts have made an impact, and our study has contributed in shaping Pakistan's first climate change gender action plan. I now recognize the importance of building interdisciplinary bridges and resilient partnerships to drive positive change, especially in tackling the climate crisis. I am committed to further developing my skills as a sustainability leader, and my dream is to lead the change towards a more equitable and sustainable future for all.